Geraldo Rivera joins us on Friday.
Hi.
Geraldo, according
nice new digs.
Thank you very much. It cost us a fortune. According to the New York Post.
Same couch?
No. Different couch.
You see this less thigh room.
Right. We put new pleather on it.
Nice.
According to somebody close to the Trump camp, they said regarding Mr. Comey's testimony yesterday, it could not have gone better because everyone saw through Comey. They regard him as a liar and a leaker. Lordy.
Liar, leaker, lordy. I agree. This certainly showed that James Comey is no saint. He's a Washington player. He was someone who got into the morass, the muck of it all, leaking strategically damning information about his boss.
Survival?
He's a Washington insider. He is revealed to be just another one of these players. And particularly when you remember that you got this 25-year-old kid, the reality winner, who's now facing 10 years in jail. She can't even make bail because she leaked this NSA document.
And she wants to burn down the White House.
Well, whatever she is, the fact of the matter is, how different is James Comey if he is leaking vital information? I mean, so damning about the president.
To your point, Geraldo, you know, we're learning that there may be some steps that the attorney for the president can take at this point. They're kind of weighing their options. What should be on the short list of options in terms of dealing with James Comey?
Well, certainly you've got to start a DOJ probe, Harris. You know, what about this leak? Was the leak itself illegal? Was this material? It certainly was highly sensitive. Was it secret? Is there a violation? I think probably not, but there is no doubt there is a complaint that can be lodged against James Comey within the Department of Justice.
Were those his memos alone to leak? Because that's been a point of contention. They are not personal property. So it is, in fact, a leak, I would understand, Geraldo, if he passed that on to his friend Daniel Richmond.
It's not even a close call. It is obviously a leak. The question is, and unethical. The question is it illegal? I think that probably goes too far, but what it does do is lets you know that morally speaking, ethically speaking, this is no paragon of virtue. This is a player, a partisan in the muck of Washington.
Democrats knew it. That's why they wanted him out to begin with.
Well, when you remember how hypocritical the Democrats are now, they hated this man, James Comey, last year. They totally blamed
Harry Reid said he's got to be fired.
I thought the dork who stole the election from Hillary Clinton, everybody hated him last year. This year they love him. And he's the paragon of virtue. Clearly that's not the case.
Here's a tweet from the president on this topic. Despite so many this is the first one in a while. Despite so many false statements and lies, total and complete vindication. And wow, Comey is a leaker. Now, what the president does not want to talk about, I imagine, is what they're saying on other channels and other people are running with obstruction. Did he commit obstruction of justice with Comey, meeting with him one-on-one, saying back off Flynn and there's nothing with Russia?
I'll get, if I may, Brian, to the appropriateness of that one-on-one meeting, but let me say as an attorney, clearly, there is no possible way to get to obstruction by what the president did in that meeting with James Comey. That is not obstruction. It is clumsy. It is, though, motivated by compassion. He wanted to help out Mike Flynn. Mike Flynn, a war hero.
He was a good guy.
Down on the balls of his ass right now. The guy can't get a job. He's trying to help him out. Pardon my salty language, but this is a president who I know for many, many years to be a compassionate person.
By the way, I love General Flynn. He's a great guy.
He may be, but he's screwed up. And he got fired as a result of it, and he's in a jam now because he probably lied about screwing up. That's where this whole thing is going. It's not obstruction, but there's going to be people who go down because of perjury.
Talking impeachment. What is the? I mean,
well, Harris, I'm glad you brought it up. It went from 3% to 0% with Comey's testimony. There is no possible way that anything the President of the United States did, as described in this hearing yesterday, remotely comes close to a high crime or misdemeanor. Drop that impeachment talk right now. It just wastes the nation's time. There was no obstruction of justice.
What if the National Intelligence Director says, yeah, he pulled me aside too? And what if Mike Rogers says he pulled me aside too? Is that a problem?
It would be a problem for both of those gentlemen because they have testified under oath that that did not happen. They have already testified that this president in no way, shape, or form tried to interfere with any of their intelligence probes, period. It seems to me this thing is almost over. Here's what's going to happen, I believe. people like Mike Flynn, and I don't know who else was involved, certainly not the President of the United States, but people like Mike Flynn, anyone who lied to the feds is in a jam now. They're going to go after all the perjurers. And also, if indeed the President taped his conversations with Comey, and I am under the assumption that everything the President does is taped in one way, shape, or form, those tapes don't belong to the people doing the taping. They belong, because of where they were done, to the people of the United States of America. It's going to be the pursuit of those tapes. But if the President is correct, and look, here you had a situation where Marco Rubio, I thought, really had his greatest day as a senator. He was terrific. And the most important thing, they finally got to the point of all the things that have been leaked. And Comey having this open relationship with the New York Times. The one thing that they never leaked was the President of the United States is not under investigation.
One thing.
Duh.
Everybody knew that.
Duh. That's how you close your argument? And duh, ladies and gentlemen, I rest my case.
But the President has to get more professional.
We know. Geraldo,
he needs Corey Lewandowski.
And you need to be
need
on my radio
barbecue.
show.
Go down to the street.